It's Crack 40 TV. You like my woman. That beautiful, lovely woman got me. Look at that. About, well, I need a little more light in here. All right. We's live. Who's the man with the master plan?
What up, world? It's the Mayor of the Streets here.
My newest post just loaded. It's about 8 minutes long. I will upload it to YouTube next. Shylock. My baby's been, my woman's so good to me. Oh, man. Got me my crack folded chain. Got me that line and got my other half. I am such a blessed man with a woman. I tell you, Freeside, what up? I got a good woman. I gotta get live on TikTok too. Right behind y'all. Hang on a second. Harlan County, what's best for us? Huh? Harlan County, what is best for us? Every time I type out the title, it still got to add a title up there. Hang on. What's going on in the YouTube world? Well, tonight's stream, if you're here for Ernie Shell information, I have none. If anybody has any Ernie Shell information, you can go ahead and we can elaborate and get that up out the way. I've got guests coming from TikTok, I believe. So y'all stay right here. We're live on TikTok now. What up, Ron, Texas? Rest in peace, Michael 5,000 watts. Michael 5,000 watts. Can't believe it. Michael Watts died. He produced all the good Houston music. But anyway, yeah, we don't know nothing about Ernie Shell. If anybody has any information, provide it. We want to know. But we also want to know, yeah, thank you, Leanne Law. Everybody, if you come through, repost. If you come through, share. We want to know what's best for Harlan. Let me share this to Facebook. Oh, Lord. All right, there we go. We live on TikTok. We live over here on YouTube. I got it on subscribers only comments for 10 minutes to get my subscribers up over here on YouTube. Oh, man, if you did not see my Crack 40 TV sign there, I've yet to take my sign down. I keep forgetting because like my mind's not made up in that race yet. That's one reason I'm here. I need county judge executives to convince me where to take my precious vote at. I need to know how far is London from me? Less than an hour and a half. I can be in London in an hour and a half tops. Depends on where you want me to be at in London. If you remember, I stayed in London and streamed from London when I had to put the mother in jail down there. So tonight we let some people come on in. We're gonna get them likes up real high. and we're going to figure out. Well, whoever gets elected as county judge executive, whoever gets elected as a magistrate in each district, whoever's the constable, sheriff's running unopposed. Obviously, can't nobody beat Walking Tile. Can't nobody beat Jim Roddy. My friend is trying to watch. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. My friend Brian Hill, he's going to try to beat the boss of the south side of the county, James Howard. But beating James Howard, what's up, Mike? It's going to be a hard task. Now you got Jack Simpson in the race in the fifth district. Toby Short, he don't matter. He's irrelevant in that race. He's there to take votes from James and Bryant. I mean, how can he even run and he's got a pending DUI and pending beating up women charges? Yeah, Toby Short, you do. You know you do. You've choked. But anyway, we just want to know what's best for the county. What up, John? Posted up like a mailbox. You heard me? That's about it. We just trying to figure out what's best for the county. This election coming up is crucial. We need to know what you guys think. A lot of people move from Harlan to London. London is the London Corbin area is the most popping place in eastern Kentucky, even over Pikeville right now. Pikeville would be second. Danny Haley, Brad Inlow, we had a brush fire today up here at 72 at Cabal Estates, and yours truly was there helping fight the brush fire, and we got it put out, brother. Congratulations, Danny Haley. You put out a brush fire. Much love to the police, to our fire departments and our police departments, and Christopher P. Couch and our EMS. I mean, hey guys, I used to make fun of people, and I don't do it no more. And I used to make fun of EMS workers. And then I grew up, and I was like, "What do you want to make fun of people like that for? They get paid to save your life." And you might talk about a cop, but when you get in a wreck and you're pinned in a car, who's the first one there to save you? Probably the cop you've talked shit about. Excuse my language. So good job, Danny Haley. We support and salute all firefighters around here. Danny Haley was on the nozzle today. He was doing big things. What's up, Queen Cola? And everybody else coming through. TikTok live stream views are low tonight. I'm waiting on some guests. What? Nikki 1903, watching from Western North Carolina mountains. Shout out. What's up, Connor Howard? Camara Fields, congratulations on doing your bid in the Army and being able to make it home safe and come back home. We salute you. If you want to do an interview, I would love to do an interview with Camara Fields about his 4 years of duty to the United States Army. I followed his Facebook post the whole time, and he's back, and I would love to interview that young man or any other young man that's coming home from the Army right about now. This stream is being brought to you by your future District 1 Magistrate, Austin Miller, your future City Mayor, Jeff Marietta, owner of the Harlan County Beer Company, Derek Sage, owner of DNR Lawn Care, possibly your future District 2 magistrate. Also, the man that's running for jailer against B.J. Burkhart, Glenn Hensley. So far, they're the ones that have bought time, advertisement time on Crack 40 TV. If anyone else out there in the world wants me to plug you, I'll plug you. Derek Sage, do you know what Derek's been out doing today? Pulling Austin Miller. And I mean that in a good way. He's been out helping the community as much as he can. He's been out cleaning up stuff with out there at the hospital with a wood chipper. Derek Sage is trying to make District 2 great again. Now, he's got a lot of opponents in that District 2 race. Carl Canterbury, Wheeler Wilkerson, BJ Fee, who I interviewed 2 weeks ago today, Mark Stewart, Milton Middleton, Jones's Creek, Milt Saylor, who knows every inch of District 2. Now, that's going to be an interesting race right there. That will be an interesting race. 75 votes could win that or less. So, who will win District 2? I don't know. There's a lot of people running to District 1 for magistrate as well. But we all know Jason Whitaker, Austin Miller will win that race. So, in 48 hours, I will be interviewing loyal mayor candidate William Taylor, who I went to school with. We're the same age. William will be here in 48 at 7 o'clock. I've done scheduled the stream. He'll be here about 7. We'll start at 7. And I'll have a good interview lined up with the man that's going to be running for mayor, Christopher P. Couch, a Friday after work, back to back days with them. Tomorrow I will be with James Howard, Austin Miller, and I'll go see Robert Crider. Wednesday, I'm trying to squeeze Powell Browning in here and Kobe Goss somewhere. If Kobe's going to come on, I need to know. That way I can fit my schedule together and get all these fellas on here at once. Brian Hill, I need to know when you want to come on. Mitch Alfred, I know I'll take you right now. Clock out and come on up, honey. I need Mitch Alfred on here, by God. See, I've had so many different people. I like. I can't publicly endorse but 2 people: Jeff Marietta and Austin Miller. Everyone else, even if I sponsor you, that don't mean I'm for you. I will plug the shit out of you for what I will. You'll get your money's worth out of a plug. Like Glenn Hensley, who's running for jail. Go look on his Facebook page. Adam Gibbons, if you are watching, be patient, Grasshopper. Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. What's up, Kegger D and Corey? So, we've got 13. I should have probably not did members only or subscribers only for 10 minutes on YouTube. But let me respond to a message. Hang on. Are you watching my show right now? I am live. Patience. I will get that took care of. All right, we back. Yeah, I like that green light my baby got me. It makes it look good in here. I like the green. Shylock, what time? I will have Christopher P. Couch running for county judge executive and his wife Angie about 6:30 or 7 a Friday night. Then Thursday night at 7, City of Loyal Mayor candidate William Taylor will be here. William is a very educated individual who I went to school with, who I know very well, who does a very good job at Southeastern Kentucky, and he's a very educated man. He would probably be the best choice. But if Jimmy Carmichael wants to come on Crack 40 TV, since that's his opponent, I invite the invitations out there too. The invitation goes to anybody that's running. Well, if you got an opponent, tell your opponent. Well, the opponent can come on too. District 1, no interviews. I can't. That's not. I'm with Austin Miller. The city mayor Jeff Marietta. I'm aligned. I'm completely aligned. But anybody else out there, if you want to interview, come on with it. Come on with it. Adam Gibbons. I'll try my best to make sure that your problem will be took care of pretty quickly. If it can be took care of. If not, I will make sure to go out of my way, Adam, to make sure that everything that can be done to help you out will get done. Now, CSX says no. I don't know what to tell you, bro. If CSX says no, Powell Brown and Kane ain't much more Powell can do for you. And you and him even agreed to that. I will make sure Wednesday I'm going to try to get with Powell, and I will try my best to get that took care of. Matter of fact, I can message him. What's up, Ray Ray? I can message Powell. He may come on shortly. I sent the invite to several politicians to come on tonight. Speaking of bosses that makes boss moves, there is the J Prince of Harlan County. There's the J Prince. Sean, if you don't know who J Prince is, that's who you remind me of. You need to Google J Prince. If you remember the Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Willie D, Bushwick Bill, it's their record owner. He's kind of like the Suge Knight of Houston. That's who you remind me of. You're the J Prince of the crew. The Suge Knight. In a good Suge Knight, though. J Prince, that's who you remind me of, OG. The invitation's open to anybody that wants to come up on panel. If you want to come up and you're on TikTok, YouTube, you got to come over to TikTok and come up. There were 6 coal trucks parked up there, and if it would have caught them coal trucks on fire, it would have been bad, Danny Haley says. Sean Miller, we have loyal candidate for mayor, William Taylor, who will be on here in 2 nights. And we have Christopher P. Couch lined up for Friday. Tomorrow I will be with the lovely, wonderful, future reigning, conquering, defending, future magistrate Austin Miller and current District 5 magistrate, the boss of the south side of the county, James Howard. Bottom line. Brian Hill is my friend, and I endorse Brian Hill, and I endorse James both, and that's going to be an interesting race. Do I think that James can lose that race? No. I think Brian Hill can give him one hell of a race, though. I really do. I really do. But James, we need James. This is what we need. We need District 1. We need Austin Miller. We need Derek Sage or BJ Fee for number 2. John Fields for number 3. Jim Roddy's running unopposed in District 4. District 5. James Howard or Brian Hill. Toby Short or nobody else. Don't care about. What happened to the coach over there, Nick? I reckon he's coaching football in Mexico. Huh. What do you think he's doing, coaching girls football in Mexico, by God? I don't know where he went, and I don't think it's fair that I am my county touches Wise County, and nobody's talking about Travis Turner being gone. And like that wrestler Carlito said, that's not cool, man. Why is no one running against District 4? Because they know they can't beat the Godfather. Who can beat Jim Roddy? You tell me that. And tell he's in from the cradle to the grave, can't nobody beat Jim Roddy, by God. I mean, it's impossible to beat Jim. Nurse, what's up, Nurse? And Lace. It's impossible to beat Jim Roddy. It's just everybody knows if you're going to run, you better shape shift to a different district. Been in there 30 years. He's been in there 30 years and he's a good guy. You're right. We need youth in the county. We have got to have youth in the county. Okay. No disrespect to anyone But if we have three magistrates, Paul Caldwell's over 70, James Howard's over 70, Jim Roddy's over 70. I mean, like, things have to turn over, things have to change. You see wrestlers, football players, all of them 75 and up, including Joe Metters, the Harlan City mayor, who I have the utmost respect for. But Joe, it's time to go play a pimp. No offense. I love you as a person, and you've been a great mayor, and you've done a lot for this city. But we got to have a change around here. We do. We have got to have a change around here. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Flies on Coastline? Long time no see. I am trying to get a debate done right now, Flies on Coastline. I want to do a debate between the 22 watching and the 9 on YouTube, TikTok. If you think we should have some kind of debate, then drop a yes or a comment about it or something. And we need to figure out how to get a Crack 40 TV debate, open panel, meet the candidates or something. We have got to do something because some of these candidates are ghost. On Larry Hoover, they're ghost. And I don't mean that towards one of them I talked to and told them that all I said bad about them was a goat. They was a ghost. I don't mean that towards them. I ain't heard a word from several of them, and then several of them are out doing their thing campaigning. So why not have all 75 of them at 3rd District 2 running? Well, why not have a debate? Sage in District 2 is doing a fantastic job right now. Sage is showing me some of his work. See, I was leaning towards Mark Stewart to begin with. He's my friend. Okay. Then I started leaning towards BJ. Then I started leaning toward, which I can't, that ain't in my district to vote in, right? But I don't even, right now, it looks to me like Sage may be your front runner, but Milt is the one that's going to sneak up on everybody. Milt knows this Canton district too, like the back of his hand, back of his head, or whatever. Thank you for joining from a repost. If you're in here, please repost this. Milt Sagler he's worked for the county road department for, Lord, he was an OG when I was there in 2011 and 2012. So what's that tell you? Milt does know. But who can go to Frankfurt? I know trash may be a problem, Lason. This is not towards Derek Sage. This is not towards anyone. This is just a fact. Who's going to be the best person to go to Frankfurt for us? Who's going to be the best person who to go to Frankfurt and stand in front of Congress and talk, or go to these meetings like they had last week, where all 120 counties had every magistrate and every judge executive, every deputy judge executive? Who's the most qualified to lead us in them meetings in each district? Who's the most qualified county judge executive for, who can get up there and talk the best is one thing that you cannot slip on that right there. Invitations open. If you want to come up on panel and chop it up, please do. It's just Crack 40 TV, and it is an open panel. If you want to come up, YouTubers, you have to come over to see. You have to come over here because I'm not using StreamYard. Let me look at these comments right quick. Flies, Michelle, trying to do a debate. Well, you could have been the campaign manager of Ernie's governor race, but that's all done now. Yeah. Yeah, Ernie's not running for governor no more. Well, if we do a debate, we'll do it live, and we'll do it on Crack 40 TV, TikTok, and YouTube, and Facebook. But we need to do it to where these people can shake hands. They have to be somewhere they can shake hands And they could set their own boats up and talk. And then when it's time to debate District 1, District 2, on down the line, well, we do it. I mean, it's simple. Hell, I went to Harlan Independent High School. I believe I can set up a debate, and it's not going to cost too much money to do that at Huff Park. It wouldn't be too much to do that at the Civic Center. It wouldn't be too much to do it at the beer company and draw them some local business. The beer company would be great. Now, Jeff Marietta would definitely be down like a rodeo clown. So, who isn't going to sell out's the question. Sorry. It might be a little bit more than 100, but it would be well worth it. Well, so here's the problem: a lot of them don't want to do a debate, but they want to do a 5 minute meet and greet. That's cool, but I think if you're scared to do a debate, you ain't got no chance in hell in winning. Here's the reason: if you can't debate here, then how can you go to Frankfurt and argue and fight to get money for us? How can you go up there and get us a grant? How can you go out there and secure us a deal for better water, better whatever? Hmm? Oh, yeah, Bradley Enlow. You ain't talking crack, baby. You talking Bradley O'Ryan Enlow right now. And I think I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And if I don't, I know who to reach out to. But if you think we should do a debate, the Mariettas are good people. They give so much to the school districts. Yes, they have. And did you know they was over the Pine Mountain Settlement School too? Jeff Marietta and Sky Marietta are wonderful, awesome people. Trust me, I've got their sticker right here on my computer. That's how much faith I've got in them. Me and Jeff will be doing an interview very soon. They was in Boston when everything happened up there. You know what happened in Boston in 2013. They was up there, and I can't. And they talked to me. I've asked them about it, and to hear their story. Excuse me. To hear their story about Boston and what happened up there. No, we're not talking Ernie Shell. We're talking about the race and what happened. You got to word how you say it. They've got an interesting take on being right in their backyard and that being basically in their backyard. Nicole knows about it. It's a very interesting story. Just that alone. Man, Hinkle's going crazy, brother. You should come do a story on him, buddy. I ain't paid no attention to Hinkle in the past few days. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Miller. Mm. What's going on with you, OG?
What's up, man?
Oh man, just talking politics, talking what's best for our county.
Youth, and energy.
Youth and energy. I definitely agree with that. And really, if you're under 50, it's youth.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's beyond me anymore, man.
I mean, I'm talking about like Burl Fee. Ours, Rev Kelly. You just hit my mind, Rev. Burl Fee. Derek Sage, Mark Stewart, they're all under 40 or under 50. And I mean, Jeff Marietta's under 50.
Yeah, you got some good young candidates running, man.
Austin and Derek. Austin's 29, Derek's 34. I mean,
time for these guys, these older guys, to step back and let the younger guys have the reins.
I definitely agree. Bryden Cuts is in the house. If you need your haircut, if you can get bucked in at the top of 119 Suki Ridge, go to Garage Cuts. Bryden, I need to do
Mr. Braden.
I need to do an interview in your shop with one of these people. We done talked about it. So yeah, we need to get something.
Braden, I think Braden and Austin are buddies.
Yeah, he let me and Austin put a sign in his yard there up at the garage cuts the other day. Braden and them watched Crack 40 TV on the big screen the other day. They was actually watching the Pyle Browning video and sent me a picture of it. So shout out to Braden and them. Mark Stewart's got a big passion for District 2, Shylock. Yeah, he does. Mark does. What's your take on District 2, Mr. Sean Miller?
It's going to be an interesting race, man. At the end of the day, I'm thinking the race is probably between BJ and Derek. I mean, that's my take on it. I could be wrong, but it's going to be a tight race. Both those guys are good guys. I know them both. Know Derek more through Austin than I do myself, but I've known BJ since he was a little fella. Of course, I knew his dad. I did business back in the day when his dad was mayor up there. So BJ's a good guy. He's done a lot of business. He's sat on a lot of boards. He sat on some boards with me. So he's intelligent. He's well capable of being the master for that place. He knows probably everyone up there. And then you got Derek. Derek's a young businessman. He's done really well with his business and his landscaping, lawn care, and he's all over the community. He's all over Harlan. I mean, as far as that goes. So I'm sure he knows probably, like BJ, probably familiar with just about everybody up there, namesake and all that in that district. So he's been there his whole life. Gonna be an interesting race, man. I mean, that's gonna be a good race, and I can't. It's not my place to say either way, but I think either one of those guys would make a good master for that area.
Danny Haley's trying to get up with you to book an appointment, Braden Cox. Yeah, it ain't my.
Braden's in high demand. Braden is in high demand. Let me tell you,
he's booked up more than Donald Trump is. I tried to squeeze in up there the other day, and he couldn't even fit the mayor in.
So, listen,
he's a busy baller, ain't he?
He is. Either way, I just ordered the same thing you ordered last time.
Message Garage Cuts on Facebook, Danny. He said message the Garage Cuts Facebook page. That's the only way to do it. If you don't do Facebook no more, Danny Haley, you'll have to create an account. Braden is a hard man to get a hold of, even for me.
I have to get Braden on that straight razor so he can start shaving my head, man.
He can shave one.
I'm needing it. I need it. Get him on that straight razor. Give me a good straight razor shave. Those things last forever. They feel so good with a good hot towel.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had one in years. He's tough, man. Braden's tough.
He sure is.
He's got great business. He's been great. He's done great with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. So I was hoping there would be some more people pop in here, like Ange and Chris Couch again. Oh, yeah, Nicole, you're right. We wasn't talking about BJ Burkhardt, who is currently the jailer. We was talking about BJ Fee. I meant to say that, but
sorry about that.
So,
yeah, but while you're on that, BJ Burkhardt, I mean, he's the incumbent for the jailer. I know you had someone who was running against him or whatever on here the other night. But now BJ's going to be a tough incumbent to beat. I just don't know that anyone's capable of that I've seen on the list thus far. So, and BJ is just a good guy. He's a good young man. He's still young. He's from good stock, and he's going to be tough to beat. Derek's up there. Derek's hard worker. We all know Derek. If you know BJ, you know Derek, and man, they're like peas in a pod. Those two are, and
yeah,
they've done really well for several years up there, and they're going to be hard. That's going to be a hard combo there to take down. And I'm not saying it can't be done, but good luck to anyone who tries.
What's up, Gage Bailey? When you commit to a school, let me know. I seen you was at Pikeville University. I heard you was going to Union over the weekend, so let me know when you sign, Gage. Yeah, he's got a tough race against BJ for that jailer. He's going to have a heck of a time beating him, but if he gets out and goes door to door, he can give it a lot of excuse. I'm not trying to say it. Heck, trying. He can sure try.
Yeah, I mean, it's just uphill battle. Anytime you're
Mm-hmm.
facing an incumbent for any of these young guys that are coming in and they're facing an incumbent, they have an uphill battle. I mean, it's just it's tough, and I'm not sure how long BJ's been up there. BJ's been up there a while, and he's
third term. He's been
name.
there at least 3 terms.
Yeah, he's a good young man. I mean, still a good young man. If you know BJ, BJ is a good guy. He's not a bad guy. Derek's a great guy too. I mean, so
when I met Derek, when I was still, in the Harlan County University of what I call it, Derek had just started up there, and Derek was very good to me, and he helped me get on out of here. Derek was always good to me when I was locked up, but that's been 29 from 2000. He started about 2010. I think he started in 2010. He was good to me when I was there. He got me straight out of there as quick as he could and everything.
Well, I mean, that's what I say. They're one heck of a duo, man. And I mean, that's a pretty good team right there, and that's going to be a hard team to take down. I'll tell anybody that's going to challenge that. That's a hard team to take down, and I think overall, man, I think they've done a pretty good job with what they've got to do with, So people's going to probably disagree with that, but I've not been there, so I don't really know. So, but I mean, as far as me knowing them, those two individuals, those guys are good guys.
They never wronged me when I was up there. I can say that about them. They never done me wrong. Brad, don't he? I'm not ashamed of none of my mistakes. I'm glad that I went through that jail. I'm glad I was on that work release program. That work release program will break your pride. It will break your pride, and it will make you feel like you're at rock bottom. And it done me a lot of good. Big Al, Joey Langford, rest in peace, Kurt Howell. Them guys right there ended up like big brothers to me. And
boy, Kurt was a good one, wasn't he?
I love Kurt like a papa or a dad or something. That's how I love Kurt Howell. I really did. I hated when he passed.
I remember those days, and I was buddies with all those guys. I mean, why would if you had the opportunity to go out though, like you didn't want to stay up there and sit in there. So you had the opportunity to go out and do all that work. It's work, and it's much better being out than in there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can say with Lonnie Bryant Delmer from County Road Department, we literally kicked the doors in on high school, and we changed it and rebuilt it into the Challenge Academy.
There's your legend, Lonnie Bryant.
Yeah, Lonnie's a good one. He about the only one that bought us pizza when we was on work release out there working. He'd bring us pizza here and there.
Oh, Lonnie, he's been a buddy of mine for years and years too, man. It's longevity. He's been good for the county. I mean, he's been there quite a while, and I would imagine I'm not maybe talking out of school, but I'd say Lonnie's probably thinking about retirement pretty soon.
I'd say so.
He's been in every facet of the county. I mean, he's participated in everything for the county, so he's done it all. And he can do it all. That's the way. I mean, Lonnie's talented. He's very talented. He can do anything.
I agree. I went to prison working on that place and come back and just luckily 2 weeks out of prison got a job with the county. So I was privileged enough to get to go back out there and work with some of the same guys I was locked up with and finish off.
Did you work on the Challenge Cabinet building?
Yeah, I built it.
Did you help him with that? I thought so.
Yeah, I take a lot of credit for that. Hobart Brock, when he was doing really good working for the county before he went back down the road. Yeah, we did a lot. We basically built that place.
Did you ever get on pouring any of those bridge decks down there at Coal Iron back there in the county building?
No, we fixed some bridges down in Wildlands, but
you remember those precast? Did you ever see those precast bridge slabs?
Mm-hmm.
We poured a lot of those, and they ended up buying. Oh, those were my forms actually. They ended up buying those and pouring those precast bridge forms when we had the concrete plant stuff. So it was interesting. They poured them, and man, I don't know how many bridges they redone over across the county that were those old wood bridges. They went in and set those concrete bridges in, and they just about set one in a day. It was amazing. I mean, but I know that some of the state inmates, I think they worked down there and they poured some of those. They helped them pour them. And that old building down there, I think the gas company owns that building now down there at Coal Iron.
Yeah, me and Hobart, we basically rebuilt a wood bridge over at Sean Miller. I'm Charlie Thompson's daughter, CHA. Cha-cha?
Hey, Aaron, how are you? I remember Aaron well. Where are you at, Aaron?
I remember your daddy. Your daddy.
Of course we all remember Cha-cha.
Cha-cha and my mama have relations. I remember your daddy. I remember when my mama was with Philip Curl, too. God, Charlie's been gone about over a decade now, ain't he?
Yeah, he has.
I like Charlie.
Where are you now, Aaron?
8 years now. How are you doing? Let's see. I'm trying to remember her brother's name. Columbus, Indiana. I remember your brother, and I can't remember his name for nothing. That's a blast. That's a name from the past, ain't it?
Where's your sister Lauren? She up there with you?
I'm trying to remember how many kids
Charles had 3. There was 3 of them.
Charles Clayton Thompson.
He was Charles, the 4th. And there's Lauren too, right?
Lord help us. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad to see Charlie Thompson's kids in my chat because I always really highly liked Charlie.
Oh, Cha-cha, yeah.
He was a good one.
Cha-cha and I have been on a plane or two together heading to the casinos. Oh, my gosh, she's in South America. What is she doing in South America?
Wow, that's interesting.
That is.
Let's see here. I got to get some concrete sidewalks to work done this year. Who all you recommend us? If you're in Harlan, I'm recommending Miller Construction. If you're out of Harlan, I probably recommend Darrell Hinkle. But if you're in Harlan, somewhere Sean can't get into, I recommend Darrell Hinkle. How about that?
Oh, she's sharing the gospel, so she's actually doing mission work. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I think she's been doing that. One of Charlie's daughters, I guess that's her. She's been doing that a long time, it seems like.
Yeah, he had some good kids, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see.
Who's this? Who's rooted in Christ Woodwork? Who is this?
That's somebody from Harlan. I'm not for sure who that is.
Great name.
Mike Smith. Is that who asked me to give them a shout out the other day for a local business and I forgot? I got to give
a shout out, man.
It was they make woodwork stuff, and they was at the.
What do you do, Mike? Or what do you do? Christy Smith's boy. That sounds familiar.
I got aim y'all this way because you cannot use nicotine. I can't on TikTok, so y'all got to look at the Mansion branch, sir. Was that you? I'm supposed to do that for rooted in Christ woodwork. If it was, remind me in Messenger, and I will get you took care of tonight. Actually, in the morning. I think Milan said I'll do it tonight. So,
Aaron, it was great talking to you. I'm glad y'all are doing well.
I am too. You know, we was almost stepsisters and stepbrothers. Yeah. Let's see, I think my mom and Charlie split up probably in about 05 or 06. They was together when my son was born in 04. It's been a while. I can't find my cigarettes. But yeah, what's up, Lightning Viper? We're live on TikTok and YouTube, Viper. We have not had new, let's see, outdoor work come spring, summer, and fall. I worked with Kenny.
Oh, I know who I'm talking to now. Okay, I know who it is. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. I know exactly who we're talking to. Yeah, great young man.
Next time you're in Charlie Thompson's Children, come see me. We'll go to the beer company and meet Jeff Marietta.
Aaron, your mother, I always loved her. She was so sweet. So she's still in Columbus, Indiana?
Well,
yeah, that's Christy. That's Christy Smith. I know exactly who that is. That is rooted in Christ Woodwork.
Is that Michael Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got to do them a commercial or plug their business. I told them I would.
He's a good one.
Well, let's discuss 4 years from now. I got a question for anyone in Harlan. Chris Brewer is doing a fantastic job. My only knock on Chris, and it could be that there ain't enough rats anymore, but then again, it could be, I don't know. I'd say there's still a lot of informants. Marvin J would have the internet and the streets shaking when he would go round up 100 people at a time. That's the only thing I wish I miss about Marvin J. In 4 years, could anyone beat Chris Brewer, do you think? Or does Chris have that for the next 3 or 4 terms? I could see Chris keeping that for a long time.
Yeah, Chris is, but now, I mean, people got to realize, Chris is this his first term or second term? First term?
First term.
This is first term.
Yeah.
So people got to realize, man, he's been a deputy, and he's come up through the ranks. So
yeah,
he may not want to keep it. He's once he can retire, he may want to do something else. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Some of these guys like to get in there and just stay, and that's not me, man. I want to. I'm looking so forward to being able to spend my time on a lake with a fishing pole in my hand, or I just spending time with your wife or spending time with your grandchildren. But now some people live for that, man. They want to go till they're like 80. That's just not me. I don't want to do that.
I have to give a shout out right quick.
Yeah, Aaron, if you don't care to do that.
Thank you, Degenerate Lost, for the $10 super chat. Thank you for making my check great once again.
Wow.
Degen dropped in to show support. Thank you, Degenerate Lost. $10 is $10.
Aaron's gonna send you her info too.
Okay, you can send it to me here or Facebook Messenger. Either one is fine. What's up, Bill Creek? Someone was asking earlier about the coach over in Wise County, Virginia. I don't think that cat's going to beef out until spring or never.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. And had an undefeated football team, didn't he, going into the playoffs or something like that? It was just that's just so unfortunate.
Undefeated and lost the state championship. I hate that they lost. I wish they'd have won. Hello, Cheyenne. But we can.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation. And
what's the magistrates race look like up in Tri-City area?
I'm hearing that John Fields is running away with it.
That's what I kind of heard. I didn't know if that was true or not. I know there's 2 or 3 others running though, right?
Yep, Dale Hawkins running, and another guy, and I cannot remember his name for nothing. Yeah. But it's between Dale Hawkins, John Fields, and someone else, and I'm hearing that's John Fields is going to get that one pretty easily. Well, but we won't know till May 19th, and people actually wake up and get in a vehicle and go vote or cast an online vote. What's up, Jamal?
Changing the tune a little bit. I read something this morning. I don't know how much truth's in whatever. They said that Mitch McConnell is in the hospital, all but on his deathbed.
Really?
Yeah. So, that's going to throw an interesting deal in it. And there again, you're talking about someone who would never give it up, and he's 85 plus years old, maybe 90 years old, been a senator for 35 plus years, and it makes it really interesting because he's a Republican, and but you have a Democrat sitting governor. So if something happens to Mitch McConnell and he was to pass away or something, the Democrat governor appoints his seat to finish out. Makes it very interesting. So in Washington, D.C., that gives the tip of the hat to the Democrats in Senate.
Uh-oh. We don't need that.
Well, the problem is you got greedy politicians that refuse to step down.
Yeah.
And that's what you end up getting if that happens, so be it. I mean, there's only one person to blame that on, and that's Mitch McConnell.
You got that right.
I mean, whether you like it or you don't like it, at the end of the day, it's Mitch McConnell's fault. And unfortunately, we have another sitting congressman that is doing the same thing and is running again, and he's 85 plus years old, maybe close to 90, and the same possible thing could happen to him. And there we go again. I mean, so folks, when you're voting for these national politicians, you better think about age. This is kind of getting ridiculous, just voting the name. They better start looking at the age and thinking about what they're doing, because there's always something else that can happen. And man, this could get real interesting in Washington, D.C.
You got that right. So how old's Mitch McConnell?
I think he's getting close to 90, man. They won't give it up. I mean, it's on both sides of the aisle up there. You got Democrats and Republicans. I mean, for God's sakes, you got Nancy Pelosi's on a walker getting in there. I mean,
you got that right.
You got that old Harry Smith that finally passed away up there. I think it was his name. I mean, he was coming in a wheelchair and he would nod off during the sessions. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I agree.
2 to 4 terms. I agree too.
I agree. Term limits is a must, man. But we don't even need term limits if people would use their heads and start voting these guys out. I mean, it was never intended for somebody to be a politician for that many years. That's not what it was intended to be like. And, the American people are making these guys, when somebody goes from being worth $250,000 and 10 years later they're worth $50 million, there's something going on. So, I mean, let's use common sense.
You got that right. You got that right. So, I've got William Taylor running for the city of Lowell mayor coming on. And 2 nights from now, that's going to be an interesting interview.
Who else running for mayor down there?
Him and Jimmy Carmichael, and I think Clark Bailey will try to come in at the very end and run as an independent. Because Clark told me to my face he was going to run again. So independent.
Well, you don't have to. He don't have to run. It's nonpartisan. The mayor's race is nonpartisan.
Oh, it ain't.
Yeah, I think it's nonpartisan. So I mean, he's just. I think he's got till a certain date to come on in. I don't know what the date of that is. You can ask them, but yeah, the mayor's race is nonpartisan.
Lowell has to be straightened up, and it looks to me like that James is the only one doing anything in the city of Lowell's James Howard.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, we've seen it over the years, and you first seen Wallens go down as a city, and I mean, it's just a matter of time. Lowell has really terrible infrastructure issues. Their sewer's bad. I mean, if it wasn't for Harlan City and their water, they'd have problems there. They have trouble with their garbage service. I mean, I don't know what all they can. I don't know how long they can suffice and stay afloat down there. I mean, there's probably going to come a time that they may end up having to dissolve that. And I know that's not popular. Everybody wants to hold on to the very end. But, if you got a big brother there ready to take over the county, that may be, it may be actually better. Yeah, I grew up around Lowell too. So I went to Lowell School actually till the 5th grade.
I went there 2nd and 3rd grade. I liked it there. Then I went to Holy Trinity, and then I went to Harlan. But, yeah, Lowell, well, I had some people when me and Austin Miller, the future District 1 magistrate, when we was in Baxter, the mayor of Baxter, I nominated Jeff Cornett, the mayor of Baxter.
Jeff Cornett.
Everyone on that hill wants the city of Baxter down through that area to merge into Harlan city limits. That's what they want. But I've heard that people want that to happen for a while, and I just don't see that happening. Chris and Angela Couch.
We grew up at that pool. That was awesome, wasn't it?
I remember the Lowell pool. Yeah.
Remember the big high dive? It was awesome. My wife loved that pool.
I loved it too. Chris and Angela Couch are in chat. Do y'all want to come up and talk?
That's Chris.
Trying to get the invite sent. Let's see here. Invitation sent. Come on up, Chris, if you want to, or you want either one or both. Come on in. Let's talk. We want to. There they go. Good evening.
You got me. We got you. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
How are you, man?
Good. You all?
Oh, we're good. We got a dose of Ange earlier.
I'm sorry. Don't tell her I said that.
I hope she ain't listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Christopher P. Couch, who is running for County Judge Executive.
Miss Couch.
So what's on your mind tonight, Mr. Couch?
Well, now that you bring that low, man, we'd sure like to have that pool back.
I'm telling you, man. That was a fun place, wasn't it?
Yeah, not a lot of memories as a kid that don't involve that place.
No, man. I mean, What was it? Barbara Allred ran it for years, man. And that's his mom.
Yeah.
She was up there for years, and she kept that place going.
That kept all the kids' jobs through the summer.
Yeah.
Everybody had a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun, man. You had parties up there, whatever. It was you had 2 different sessions during the day or whatever you go up there for. That's what we were talking earlier. We were talking earlier, Chris, about the newspapers, and I hated to read. And the front page, you always had the main things going on the front page, and then you get to the bottom of it, you thought you was at the end, and it said, continue this article on page 5. Time I got to page 5, I looked at the sports, and then I was going on to the funnies and reading something else, but funny, in the funnies or something. Things sure have changed.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
We need a better newspaper.
I know it would probably cost more to put the pool back up there than it's worth, but just for the nostalgia, if nothing else, just to have it back on that hill.
Well, I actually think that area's been bought now. I'm not sure, but I think the
city still owns it, don't they?
I don't know if they do or not. I'm not sure.
I know. I talked to Clark. It's been a while back, but he said that they still own it.
Do they still own it? I know
he
they
said
were trying
that the pool had been filled in, and the building was sort of in bad shape. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know somebody was just moved out of there because the light bill was in the city of Lowell's name, and Clark was renting them apartments out, and it was looking bad on the city of Lowell because the bills was running late from up there, so people had to move, but they should have paid their bills.
Yeah. Is there apartments in that building?
Mm-hmm.
I think there is upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in.
Gosh, I've not been up there in years, man.
Last time I was up there, Dexter Day was the police chief, and he lived up there and sort of took care of the place while he wasn't working.
Oh Lord, that's been a day or two.
Been a few years.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a little t-ball field up there too, or something, didn't they? Baseball.
Yeah.
I played t-ball up there, and back then, when I played t-ball, it was packed. I mean, that was the mid '80s, when I was a kid, but it was packed.
Yeah, they had gymnastics. They had a lot up there. I mean, that place was rocking, man. But population has kind of done a lot to hinder that now. So.
Mm-hmm. The population of Loyal shrinks.
You guys remember Jeremy Hill? They called him Squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him.
Yeah. His dad was a pastor there. Yeah, we'd always stay at his house and go up there to the pool.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
What's kind of your agenda, Chris? What's going on? I'm not going to talk to you any about it. I see you passing a long time. We speak, and you're always turning the lights on and rolling on. So
yeah, you gotta keep on keeping on.
Yeah. What's on your mind, man? What's got you into running for this office?
Well, it's just time for something to give. We've been caught in the same old for so long. Just something's got to break.
I agree. I mean, I'm 100% there. We've
like going back to our childhood. We can't offer our kids none of the stuff we had when we was growing up. We've lost our pool. We've lost our movie theaters. We've lost our bowling alley. We've let the park sort of fall apart. The Cranks Creek Lake. We had a ball there, and it's sort of fell apart.
Yeah, we go back to thinking about all the things that we done as I don't know, teenagers, early teenagers, under their teenager years, but I mean, we actually had a whole lot here going on for us. I mean, we had all the different high schools, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to live in Harlan County, and I don't know that the kids can say that anymore, man. I don't.
There was never a lack of anything to do. We always had something.
Yeah, I was talking to some of the teenagers here. Kim and I were not long ago, and their fun evening is going to Walmart and walking around Walmart. I'm thinking, holy cow, man!
I know my kids growing up and stuff, and all their buddies, they'd have to go to Kingsport or Knoxville or Lexington just to have something to do. And it's no wonder that everybody leaves. What do we expect? We're not offering them anything to do.
Well, and we talked to your wife about this earlier, that, what do we do to even bring back the ones who go and get a college education, and how do you bring them back? What do we have to offer to even get them to come back to Harlan County? And the answer is nothing.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot.
School teacher, basically.
Yeah, school teacher, you may get a physician or two or a lawyer from time to time, but other than that, and I think one of the biggest things, and don't get me wrong, I do like college, and I think it's a great opportunity, but we've also led a lot of things like, say, electricians, plumbers, like you carpenters. 10 years from now, I'm sure you have trouble finding a good carpenter these days, good electrician. There's not going to be any in 10 years from now if we don't do something to.
I spoke to the principals a couple of years ago, and I wanted to offer a program to let any seniors, come out. And it should start as sophomores, freshmen, sophomores, as well as educated as we are, and the computer systems we have and AI and all that. We are to be able to vet teenagers and high school students better and help direct them in a path of success. I got news for any of these young people that want to get in a career. We are desperate for plumbers and electricians.
Exactly.
Desperate.
Just like we don't go to a big major university, it's not the end of life. There's a whole lot more out there. People can make a whole lot a good living just doing jobs like those. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we've been indoctrinated so long that we have to go get a 4-year degree or a 6-year degree, and that's just not true. You can make just as much and be happier just doing a trades job as you can. And it's untelling what they teach you when you go to schools like this, stuff that I'm sure I don't believe in. I don't know about you all, but it's just ridiculous.
Well, they indoctrinate our kids. We all know that, and that started years ago. But I promise any teenager that wants to talk to me, you know me well, Chris, I would be willing to tell them and direct them. You can look at my son, prime example. He went off to college. He got a bachelor's degree. He also has his pilot's license. He owns his own company, and he manages our company now, because he didn't want to go the route of his college degree. We could have probably saved a whole lot of money, and he could have taken over our company. And and it's fine that he went off and done that. That's fine. But he's well educated. He's well, he can do a number of different things. But these young people and women alike now, there's some of the best workers in construction now. And it doesn't have to be the heavy side of construction. It can be the painting. It can be caulking. But women are playing a huge role when you get out of these rural areas. They are playing a huge role in construction now, because you have a whole lot of lazy men that won't work.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's just the bottom line. They can like me or not like me. I'll call it like it is. Spade's a spade.
I know quite a few people I went to school with, and even younger people that spent, 4, 6, 8 years in college to get degrees that they can't even use, that they can't find jobs in.
Yeah.
And they're having to go to, a lesser job for them, I guess. But
there's so many technical programs out there too. Like I just seen Ronnie Williams joined on here, and one thing that makes me think is you can go and get your certificates for water plant treatment, and there's different levels you can do. And whether it's here in Harlan or it's away, every time we would go to those meetings, we had to go twice a year or once a year to go 2 days or whatever to get our hours back in. And they were begging for those workers and those plant operators in different areas. And those are great jobs. Those are great jobs.
Hello, Ronnie.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a generational thing or not. I mean, it's funny. They'll go to college and take a 4-year degree and then come out and make $35,000, and they could go to a tech school, come out as an apprentice, and probably make $50,000 a year. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I just think it's what they've sort of been taught that's the only way to go in life, and it's. I mean, if you can, that's great, but if not, college ain't for everybody. Some people don't have the opportunity or the finance to afford that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the trades part of it.
There's Ronnie just said licensed water operators make up less than 1% of the population in America. Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
And how much do we use water?
The one thing that we absolutely have to have is Yeah.
It's amazing. And I mean, the other thing that we don't need to forget, and I don't know what it's called now. In my day, it was called Southeast Community College. In my day, I think it's got some big technical name now, but kids need to utilize that too here. These 2-year programs, they're great too, man. They are great. My wife, she graduated from the nursing program and went on to get her bachelor's degree. Now she's a nurse practitioner. But I mean, it's a great fit for a lot of kids here, and they need to utilize that.
That's a fact.
I agree with Rooted in Christ Woodwork. Ronnie, he is top 1% in the world. He's a good man. Anytime I need something, bam, he's right there for me. Gotta give Ronnie some credit, like Ronnie. Always good to me.
He and his brother are my childhood friends, best friends, growing up, man, over in Old Dayhoy. Sure enough. Chris, you working tonight?
I'm working.
I figured you were. Have you got your Tonto sitting there with you?
No, I'm caked up. I'm just waiting on the next call to come in.
Are you? I'm not used to seeing Long Ranger without Tonto. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Well, I mean, what's your idea? I mean, do you have any ideas to move it forward? I mean, to stop it. I mean, because the one thing that we don't have anymore in this county is, and we have some, but not like we used to have. The co-severance money is not like it used to be. So funding anything or funding anything at all in this county is going to be difficult without, and our tax base is way low. I mean, we're losing population left and right. So as we lose population, you lose tax base. And so, I mean, what's the ideas? I mean, eventually you're talking about consolidation of more schools, maybe closure of elementary schools, because we still have quite a few elementary and middle schools across the county. So as population dwindles, you have no choice but to take action on those things. So, I mean, what's some ideas? I mean, I'm not, that's not my cup of tea, but what's some ideas about that?
I know, just talking to people, everybody wants jobs, but our location, we really don't have a lot of options. We've been bred so long for mining coal, and that's just probably not an option anymore. There's plenty of coal left, but I don't see any companies that's wanting to take the risk to put the money into it to go after it. We need to try to make sure that the ones that we do got, we do everything we can to try to keep them going.
Well, for so many years we've had certain families in here, and they can say what they want to, but and I have to be appreciative to the Bennett family, and people may or may not agree with me, but they have always been a staple in the community and employed a whole lot of people. And now, we've seen the sons of Joe and some of the other Bennetts and the Lovings, they stepped up and they're still employing a whole heck of a lot of people, man, and it's crucial.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to them.
The one thing you can say about them is, they want fly by nights. I guess they always, it seemed like they didn't lay off. They they kept a constant crew, and man, they employed a lot of people over the years. And you had guys with them that I've known, those fellas out there that worked for them, and they worked 40, 50 years for them, the same place, and never had to worry about getting a layoff slip. And that's not the way with these coal mines this day and time. It's kind of scary.
Well, the Bennett survived when even the big arch coals and stuff were shutting down.
Yeah.
But I think they have more invested in the community than Arch or anybody like that. They had a lot more at stake than these big companies. They don't know a name, they know a number. Where say like the Bennetts, they sort of know the people. They know everybody. They're there for the ball games. They're there for the school events, and the big companies they're not.
I agree. I totally agree.
Once the finances slow down, they're out.
I think I've always said, the one thing that aggravates me, and I think this is my 30 year in business. But the one thing that's always aggravated me is we always want to offer, tax breaks or whatever for folks coming in here to start businesses. But what about the folks that are already here that wants to start businesses or that are decent? I mean, why are we not helping them?
Yeah, we got to take care of the ones that are here before we expect anybody else to show up.
I just
anything we can do for the ones that are there to keep things going. I'm all about buying locals as much as you can, not necessarily paying 4 times more than you could somewhere else, but I mean, keep everything as local as you can.
Sure.
Okay, Chris, I got a question. Paul Browning is talking about how he brung in the rally cars up in his district and did a lot with that and had people in here from France and all over Europe. Speaking of Paul, he just popped in the damn chat, right? What'd you do? No, I was about to say your name. Paul was talking about how he could about the rally cars coming in here and the tourism that could bring. What is your opinion on that right there?
Absolutely. Anything that we can do to bring people in here, once we get them in here, they'll see what we have to offer.
So what kind of ideas do you have for tourism, Chris?
Probably the biggest thing is getting everything back to the way it was, as far as clean up and getting our parks back the way they was, and like him bringing in the rally cars, that's awesome. If we could continue stuff like that and maybe get a few more. I know a lot of people talk about the Possum Festival. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if you went, but I sure did like that Possum Festival more than I did the poke salad, just to be honest with you.
My brother says that too.
Just the locals and the culture of it compared to the poke salad. It's sort of, the Possum Festival sort of like the poke salad was when we was kids.
Yeah, that's what everybody told me, that it was all downtown, just like it was back in the day. And I forget who told me that the Poke Salad Festival originally started in.
I think it was Paul told you that.
Was it Paul?
Was it Paul Browning? I think he told you that it was originally up there, Smith Lake. Was that you, Paul?
Oh, I can't remember. It seems like I've heard that. I don't know if I was the person that said it or not, though, Sean. It was.
Someone told me
that. Well, somebody said that, and we talked about that earlier. Brad and I did, but tourism has been huge for Harlan County, and what Paul did up there and what he's done on his end of the county has been huge. Where he's been magisters up there, so I mean, we got to give him a shout out because he's done a lot up there, and there's a lot of business going on up there. But tourism as a whole, if you sit on 119 and you watch these buggies and all these trailers come in here, it's amazing what we see come in here. And, how do you increase that? But I'm not, that's not my cup of tea. And it's going to take somebody much better than me. And you guys, Chris, how do you increase on what we're doing now?
A big thing, like you said, all these people coming in here, they don't have anywhere to go. There's nowhere to stay. once you run out of places up putting it to park or ever it's at the park, then you're sort of out of luck. We need more places for people to stay when they come in.
I was just having that conversation earlier today, and it kind of ties in. If you get an opportunity when we bounce off here, I've got a video posted on Facebook talking about our water issues, and of course, I can't. Sean can speak volumes on that over and above what I have as far as current issues. But we're reaching a very critical point in our infrastructure, and most specifically water, that we're not going to be able to grow. We're going to have to do some conversions of Airbnbs, houses into Airbnbs and things of that nature. And we've already got a housing shortage. Sean and I talked about it. Well, we all did the last time we were on here. Yeah. So we're starting to hit a wall or several walls. And a lot of that is with the infrastructure. Being able to take full advantage of tourism can't really happen until, like Chris was saying, you've got to have beds for heads. You've got to have lips to sip. You got to have things for those lips to sip. You've got to have fork to your face. I mean, there are some things that just drive-by tourism is okay when you're starting out, but to really capitalize on tourism, you have to look at a 3-day stay. Now, will we be able to pull off 3 days in Harlan? Probably not for quite a while. But can we talk with Lee County? Can we talk with Leslie? Can we talk with Bell? Can we talk with others with the Boone Ridge and other things coming in? If we can get one of those 3 days in Harlan, it's going to be game changing for us. The 1 million visitors they're projecting to come to Boone's Ridge. I mean, that if we get, it don't take much. You get 1% of the people, projected people. If 1 million show up there, and we get 1% that make their way to Harlan and just spend $100, so you're going to get 10,000 people coming here spending $100. That's life altering for businesses here. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, and Chris, Pop, y'all can weigh in. You know we have other things to offer. We've got the portal up there. We've got some. Benham Lynch is very historic. I've not been up there in a couple of years. I can't say that I have. I just don't go that direction. But you do have the portal, and you've got Benham Lynch, and we're talking about. I think we're talking about putting some concrete ramps into the river to where we can actually canoe or we can kayak and possibly maybe tube and add something to the adventure part of tourism. You just don't have to ride four-wheelers or side-by-sides all the time. You can offer something else to do besides, just the mountains. But with that, shouldn't we be thinking about pushing cleanup? Because right now, as I drive down through here, I travel quite a bit. This is the nastiest place you ever lived. And ain't nobody enforcing nothing. Ain't nobody writing no tickets. And if you do write a ticket, you don't ever hear anybody getting fined for litter. If you pull up at I used to smoke, but I'm not going to criticize just smokers. But if you pull up at a red light and you look down at the curb at the left, there'll probably be 10,000 cigarette butts against that curb.
Big fine.
I mean, how do we change that mindset? What do we do to get people to understand that it's important that you clean your yard? You do this, you do that. I mean, how do you change that mindset?
That is not, unfortunately, there's not another magic wand for that either. One of the things we discussed up here, we had a recycling trailer here in the Tri-City area for a while, and it got to the point where it was just in bad condition. But what ultimately, I made the decision ultimately to take that out. There was, you had different compartments, trash. You had different compartments for paper, plastic, glass, different things like that. Well, in one of the compartments, one of the gentlemen that was working for me at the time went to pull a bag out that was in there, anticipating it was full of plastic or paper, and someone had filled it full of colostomy bags. So he got absolutely covered up in human waste. And I said, that's it. I said, it's got to go, take it out. But one of the things we talked about is bringing some of that, one of those trailers back, and definitely bringing it back into several different districts and doing this differently. So in our case, I wanted to park it over here at the Head Start, the KEOCC Head Start. So you start teaching younger people, I mean, right in, pre-kindergarten, how to recycle, how to be a little more knowledgeable, aware of trash and what you do with it and what happens. And I'm sure we could do the same thing, Sunshine School and several other places in the county. But it's probably going to be a generation or two before it really kind of takes hold. I mean, the number one way though to solve about any issue is with, and when I say with money, a fine will teach you not to throw something out of the window. If you get hit with 50,
I mean, as it's become, and I mean, I don't care what I say, you guys know that, but has it become such an issue that we're worried more about a vote than we are about enforcing the rules and the laws and having our place clean and nice and neat?
Sadly, at times, yes.
That's another change of culture. I'm sorry, I mean, that's a sign that we desperately are in need of a change. And just like what you said in the trailer up there, if you set a trailer out and someone abuses what they put in it, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, that was just one of those, you think, oh, well, they put paper in the plastic, or they put plastic in the paper, or they put glass in the plastic. Yeah, that's fine. We can sort that out. You put colostomy bags in there and cover someone in human feces? No. I mean, I'm done. That's beyond the realm of, honestly, reasoning. I mean, there's there's 1,000 different ways to handle that than to do that. That's not acceptable. That's the day we pulled it, and that was the last one that we had in the county. But we've got to, and there's been some conversations, and this is one of the things, and I don't want this to turn into a campaign speech, right? But one of the things that'll happen if the good Lord above and the voters of Harlan County decide that I'm going to be their next judge executive, I've got connections. I couldn't tell you. There's 118 other judge executives in the state, 120 counties, but Jefferson and Fayette are city county mergers, so you have mayors in there. Similar situation, but there's 118 other judge executives in the state. I'm going to say I know at least half of them pretty well, and I couldn't tell you the number of magistrates I know. So we're going to look at everything. One of the things that came up was almost like a kind of a catchy term, a trash tribunal, where you actually have a board that sits there, three-person board that handles that, takes it out of the judges, takes it out of an election type situation, whereas tickets are written especially for landfill violations, just throwing tires over a hill or doing something completely ridiculous. If you find out, there's letters in there, some sort of address where you can actually take that person in front of this tribunal or in front of this board, they can levy the fines. They can do things like that. And I know several people that were raising their hands, probably even right now, saying, yeah, I'm on that board. I want to be part of that. I want to do that, because they're not looking for an election. They're not looking for popularity. They want what you want and what I want, which is a cleaner, prettier county.
That's so true, because I mean, and you live up one fork, Chris lives up another, and you pass tourism left and right. Chris has it up his fork just like you do, and when you're bringing folks in from out of town, and that's the first thing they see is garbage, and I'm just not so sure that it's not something that makes you want to come back and return to a place.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. I mean,
the funny thing is this, and I've always said this, and I travel to Tennessee a lot. I go south more than I go north, I guess, and so in Tennessee, where we're at over there, they don't even have a garbage truck that picks your garbage up. You are required to haul your garbage to the dump, to a facility. You pull in on concrete, and they have different dumpsters, and you put your garbage in there. Now, this is the one thing about Tennessee. If you don't, they will cite you.
It's a bad day.
Yeah, it's a bad day. I mean, it's just what it happens. And, it's a shame that they're 40 miles away. Virginia's the same way, and we're not smart enough to adopt the same programs. I don't get that. I mean, you learn from somebody that's a little smarter than you. But anyway,
I've said it a million times. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm the dumbest person in the room.
That's it. I mean,
surround yourself by people with intelligence and knowledge and experience and wisdom, and that's what you do.
You're right, and I just think that that's imperative, and we got this is a beautiful area. We have beautiful mountains. We have everything that anyone else has. We have, and we may have more of it. It's just a shame that we can't push that. We can't clean our waterways up. We can't pick the garbage up. We can't change the mindset. And I think the only way you do is starting at a preschool age to change that mindset. I don't know how else you do it. I agree with you, Paul, on that 100%.
It's one of the most disappointing things. A quick little story. There was a very popular young lady in the Cumberland area when I was probably 17, 18. I guess she was 16, 17. Drove a little Toyota truck.
Thank you.
I pulled up beside her, and she had a young lady in the car with her I was trying to have a conversation with. Well, we had a Taco Bell at one point in time in Cumberland inside the Speedway or Super America, and she bought 2 or 3 tacos. The girl that was driving, and as I was trying to talk and kind of beyond her to the other young lady, she ate the taco. She threw the wrapper right out the window, right on the parking lot. She ate another taco, wrapper right out the window. Third one, wrapper right out the window. I got disgusted, man. I backed up. I opened my door. I got them all, watered them up, put them in my car, and I just left. I mean, I was just like, I can't even have a conversation anymore with these people. That's just if you're just going to throw 3 Taco Bell taco wrappers right in the parking lot while we're having a conversation. I mean, I don't even know how to address that. Right? I was speechless. I was just like, wow.
You guys know how. I mean, I'm one not to care what I say or do, and I was at a certain location, and a guy threw an empty cigarette pack out the window, and I did nothing more than went and picked it up and threw it back in his window. Because it doesn't matter to me. I mean, when you're 10 steps from a garbage can and you're too damn lazy to go over there and put your garbage in a garbage can, then
you know who that reminds me of?
I have a problem.
My daddy.
Cha Thompson's daughter is in the house. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh Lord. But yeah, I mean, Chris, are you still with us, or you get called out on call?
I'm here.
Okay.
What do you?
Back in there. I mean, I know you see it up Clover Fork. I know it has to aggravate you. I mean, you drive to Shields every day. I know it has to aggravate you as well. I mean, it's just a matter of, how in the world do we ever change this in this county?
It's like you said, it wouldn't cost nothing to fence in 2 or 3 dumpsters, and it wouldn't take much dollars to do that.
This is the one thing that Paul may be able to tell me, because I've asked that, and I've been told that it's illegal in the state of Kentucky to do that. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know about legalities. I do know. Now, this is my understanding. Have I researched this completely? No. But it was my understanding that we had 2 models to choose from. And one was a household or residential pickup, and the other was similar to what they're doing like in Virginia and Tennessee, where you have to take your trash from your household yourself and take it to a dump site or a dump facility. So in our case, with the population matrix that we have, most of them being older, whoever the powers be were at that time decided that the residential pickup was best, and I'm not disagreeing with that. We've had great success with the spring cleanup, and I think maybe some of the way we can do that. Now that doesn't cure your everyday situation, and a lot of people, we're dealing with bears, we're dealing with stray dogs, we're dealing with a lot of things that get into your trash and make it bad.
It's awful.
But I think we could do the spring cleanup, and if we could initially then go to 2 times a year, then maybe 3 times, then 4 times. That'll take care of a lot of your, at least over the mountain type stuff, your couches and recliners and refrigerators and washers and dryers and things that just get thrown over a mountain.
Well, this is the other thing that I have a problem with, and of course, this is probably going to open Pandora's box here, but we have all these dumpsters. We know we have a bear problem. I mean, we have a huge bear problem.
Yes.
And of course, they're protected, and some people think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. my take on that is they're stinky, nasty, and they destroy everything, and they just make a mess. But we pay a lot of money to the garbage company, and we probably just had a recent raise. I'm sure they were meeting, and we pay a tremendous amount of money. But you call and ask for a decent dumpster that has lids that actually close that you can lock. Well, they don't have those.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if we're going to pay that kind of money, for these dumpsters and different things, I think we should have a little better quality, and the quality should not always go out of Harlan County. It seems like we're always the last on the totem pole, and we get the crap instead of some decent stuff. And if it can't be, and I know there's only a few. Waste management is probably one of the larger, maybe the largest in the United States of America for sure. But I mean, there's got to be something else we can do here. There's got to be something we can force their hand. And besides that, I mean, I know, and Paul can elaborate on this because he's been on fiscal court. Not to cut you short, Chris, but I know he can. There's so many folks out there that don't pay their garbage bill. I mean, just absolutely refuse to pay their garbage bill. Well, the garbage bill, if you don't know, if you're a B-Mud customer or you're a Harlan City water customer, your garbage bill is paid through your water now with your water. But the state law says that you cannot cut their water off or you cannot obstruct their water just because they don't pay their garbage bill. Well, these people know that. Yeah. They just don't pay it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's awful. Paul will tell you.
It's kind of gotten just, I mean, even in the last year or so, I guess, as that knowledge has become more available, it has really deterred that. Yeah, it has made a mess of collections, and then Waste Management or Waste Connections is looking at us now saying, there's a shortfall, so the county needs to pay it, and we're like, no, we're not the collection point, and we've been back and forth on that. I'll say this, and at one point in time prior to having, and it was more of a gentleman's agreement with Waste Connections, when we decided to do the billing and attach it to the water bills. Prior to that, their collection rate was abysmal. I mean, it was in the 50% or something. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Once we had the attachment to the water bill, or including it with the water bill, to where you weren't paying writing 15 different checks, you could write one and kind of cover the cost of it. It went into the 90% plus, and they were not happy with that. So I think their proposal back to them was, well, if you'd like to take it back over, that's fine. Do what you can. But yeah.
Well, and before long, if something is not, and some of these folks are not held accountable, and I think fiscal court has really now kind of come down on some of these folks and starting to come down even more and even harder. But if they don't, it's going to become a real strain on the county government, because you're talking about garbage is a big business and it's very expensive. People don't realize how expensive it is, but I didn't realize it until I kind of got it dumped on me, and I realize it now. Paul knows what I'm talking about, but and I didn't realize it, but you're talking about across the county, you could be talking about $1 million probably owed in garbage.
It's
wow.
It's
astronomical.
It's kind of off the chain, as they say.
And something, and unfortunately, the next judge executive is going to be faced with that.
They are.
And I mean, it's going to be coming sooner than later. I can tell you that. I mean, from my experience, I know firsthand, and Paul does too. And whoever the next judge executive, whoever's fortunate enough to get the next judge executive, it's not going to be peaches and cream. I can tell you that.
No, and that's certainly going to be some of the things. I mean, that's those are real concerns. They're wage inequality. I mean, I could go through the probably 50 things that are going to be real decisions, costly decisions, tough decisions. Not everyone's going to be buying you a birthday gift when you make those decisions, but they have to be made. I mean, we're going to have to get a baseline as far as our infrastructure. There's so many things that we're not even to a baseline level yet on things, and we've got to get to that point. We're stifled. We're stalling out. Other people are just moving light years ahead of us because we're still dealing with these basic issues. And it's, when we had the off-road park, we were the tip of the spear in the entire United States with that, and people came from everywhere. Well, we're barely on the handle now. With what it's
like surpassed us. I mean, it's like we were left just left behind.
Yeah.
I don't know how we didn't get moved forward, and that's the other thing. I think I think the tourism board. I think they have plenty of money. I just think that we have to learn how to spend our funds and spend it efficiently, and what's the most productive way to spend it for this county.
It is, and there's going to be some hard choices to make, and sometimes you're going to have to kind of. I don't want to say rob Peter to pay Paul because my name is Paul, so that doesn't sound right. But we'll say rob Paul to pay Peter in this case, I guess.
Yeah. But and I think that's the other thing. I don't think that and I mean I'm not trying to crack on Chris or anybody else that's running for judge executive, but if you've sat on a few of these boards and on the inside of goings on, I mean, stuff is not as it appears. And like Paul elaborated on when he came first on here, water, I'm telling you right now, guys, the infrastructure is getting some age on it from the city to out in the county, all water districts. I mean, we got 7 water districts in this county. People don't realize that.
Wow.
And we have 3 water districts in this county within 5 miles of each other.
Yep.
And that was brought to my attention in Frankfurt. So yes. I know that really well.
Yes.
And
as do I.
Yeah. So and to go in and do a new water treatment system, Paul, what is it? Probably $30 to $50 million.
Yeah, to try to, and that wouldn't even cover the county. You're still, just because we're basically, geographically speaking, we're 5 counties in one.
Yeah.
And you can only pump so far and so hard without, the interconnect that we have up here. That wasn't, the design was correct, the implementation was incorrect, and that's some of the things I've been talking about. You've got a straight line coming from the Lynch water plant going into Benham, and at a certain point, it enters the Benham distribution. Instead of staying straight lined and going straight to the water plant, enters distribution, goes through the city of Benham, comes back out in the singular pipe, then goes to Cumberland water plant. So if you're taking water from Lynch and trying to feed Benham or Cumberland, it's possible. Although I could get into a whole other thing. But if you decide to reverse that, if Lynch is out of water and Cumberland says, I can send you water, to get the pressure up to actually make it to that higher elevation in Lynch, you start blowing faucets out of the sinks in Benham because you have to turn that pressure up because they entered the distribution system instead of keeping it on a single line.
And fortunately for your end of the county and Chris's end of the county, you guys probably have 2 of the best water resources in Harlan County.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Lynch. And it's 99.9% pure coming out, just about. And then
dirty it to sell it.
Then Chris has, they got the high splint, that lake up there. I mean, it's nonstop. I don't know what that well's producing up there, but it's amazing the water that you got up there. And for us, at some point in time, we may end up having to, the county or whoever, these companies, it's going to have to be somebody besides Harlan County to come in and realize that infrastructure and be able to spend the funds that they need to actually do something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be beyond. I mean, and I'm in the video I just posted a little bit back. I mean, we're going to aggressively seek funding daily. That has to be part of what you do in that position, right? I mean, you can't just say, well, we got $1 million. We'll leave them alone for a few years. No, it's we got $1 million
every day.
When you get the check, you shake their hand, you cut the ribbon, you take the picture, and you say, when's the next million coming? When's the next 10 million? When's the next?
That was when I was BMUD chairman, that was the greatest thing. We waited even when I was on the board, because I served on the board for 5 years and chairman. I think I was chairman about a year and a half or something. I don't know, but of that time. But that was the greatest time because we always waited to see how much funding we were going to get for that annual year.
because of equipment, pipe. I mean, that's what carried us through that. And Big Brother Physical Court, I had to say, I mean, you had to have Big Brother to help, or B-Mud wouldn't, and I can speak only for B-Mud. B-Mud would not have been in existence if that wasn't the case.
No, and B-Mud, the design on that was prior to my time not on the planet, but in heavily involved in government. But back just I won't say just prior to me coming on. It was actually a couple of election cycles before that.
Yeah,
a lot of that when B-Mud took on the Green Hills Water District, that was something they really I won't say put a strain on them. Everyone deserves water in this county. Every single person and every single faucet deserves water. But it was kind of forced on B-Mud to take that over, and they said, here, it's kind of like if you hand somebody your baby, but you don't give them any baby formula. It's going to be tough. I mean, that baby's going to start crying, and you've got to feed that baby at some point. And if you don't have formula to do it, then you've got to sort that out. So, and that was kind of the situation. They were said, well, here it is. Sure. You got it, but we're not giving you any funding. We're not. Well, it was.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Paul, I think Chris, you're on B-Mud, aren't you, up there at Shields?
Everett's. We're on Everett's water.
You're on Everett's, okay. Yeah. See, but now you're in that district up on that end, Holmes's Mill and all, that's B-Mud, and then up Black Mountain's B-Mud. Right. And, and the bottom line is Everett's has had their problems as well, but B-Mud has, they have huge problems up there too. But it's weird how the county's laid out. And we go through Everett's, and then you go through Everett's, instead of Everett's City Water maintaining it up there, you have B-Mud that picks it up and takes it on the Holmes's Mill, which is just ludicrous to me. But and then the same thing up Black Mountain, you go through Everett's, and then okay, this part's B-Mud's.
I'm 46 years old, and I can think back, we've had water trouble for 46 years that I know of. I really don't know if there is. I don't know. And I know they just got $4 million, but I don't think that'll even touch the problem. And that's what everything helps, but I don't think that'll even touch the problem.
Well, we're appreciative of any amount we can get, and me coming from that water cycle and knowing what we went through last year and what these guys are going through right now out here, and that's Everett's and Kaywood and B-Mud, and I think even Harlan's having some few issues now. I mean, you got to think Harlan City's infrastructure is over 100 years old in the ground. Now, it is ductile iron. The major majority of Harlan is ductile iron, and that has been the salvation for them. But 100-year-old, things begin to deteriorate, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
I know we've had trouble for the last 46. I can remember several times that they had to call school off or any kind of event because the water was out, or it's always been boiled water or lines busted. I really don't know so somebody a whole lot smarter than me is going to have to come up with that. I mean, the problem is it's not necessarily somebody a whole lot more smarter than Paul or you or myself or Crack or anybody else, but they're going to have some really deep pockets, guys.
Yeah,
that's the issue. There's got to be a lot of money spent on this infrastructure.
I don't know a whole big lot about it, but it seems like the biggest trouble is finding where the breaks and stuff are. I don't know if these water districts or the county or whoever has the equipment to be able to find that, or you have to contract it out, or
well, it's and it is having equipment, but it's also having the staff. We are so understaffed. I know B-Mud. We got 580 miles of line for B-Mud, and you got 7 men.
They work hard.
They work their tails off.
Let me vouch for them men. They work. They probably missed the Super Bowl trying to find leaks last night.
I know they have.
And I'm not joking. I guarantee you that some of them missed the Super Bowl to fix y'all's
I think
leaks.
We were told in the last 5 or 6 days, and Paul may know more about this than me too, but I think they worked 80 plus hours in the last 5 days. Those guys did.
I believe every bit of that.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I know people don't appreciate that, and that's fine. They don't have to appreciate it, but I can tell you what those men do down there, and and I'm sure the same is said for Everett's, and the same is said for Kaywood, Cumberland, and different areas when stuff happens. But it's they take their job serious, and they do a good job at what they do. But it is tough. It's tough terrain. Harlan County is a tough terrain, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yeah, you take 7 men covering 500 and let's say 550 miles of line. That's a lot of line. 3,700 customers.
And they're going up and down every bit of that hunting leaks or fixing them.
And let me tell you, at this point in time, this is the sad thing. Now, I don't care to say it. Some of them are driving their personal cars.
Yep.
Seen it myself.
They don't have enough vehicles.
Do they got the equipment to find the leaks, or they just?
Oh, we got the equipment to find it. You just don't have the manpower, Chris. I mean, for that many, and you know, this is the other thing. I know in the last 5 to 6 days, B-Mud has had 27 leaks on the residential side. So that's from the meter to the house. That people didn't cut their water off, didn't realize they had a leak. That was draining their tanks, and they fixed 8 or 9 leaks, main line leaks, on their side. So the majority of the leaks, most of the time, are from the meter to the house or in the house, and people say they don't realize it, and that's a huge problem.
I know for me, I had to end up putting a pressure reducer on mine because it kept blowing the lines. It was the pressure.
It is. That's mandatory now. If you have, on the new stuff, that's mandatory.
Yeah.
But it's just going to become a huge issue. I know there's some sewer projects, and listen, I was thankful I got sewer at my house. You got Paul can probably elaborate on that a little bit more than you and myself, Chris. But I know there's some sewer projects coming up. I think probably more in the 5th district. I don't know, Paul.
That's the focus as of right now. Is the 5th district is we've started with that. So as they say, it's kind of easier to continue where you started as opposed to breaking some new ground. But that's been a priority of James Howard down there, and it's
gee.
Yeah, he is. He's made that a priority. But what we're getting ready to run into, and I don't want to. This is not a scare tactic by any means, but that all goes back to Harlan City. And at some point soon, they're going to reach capacity and not be able to tie anybody else on. Now they're going to leave some capacity, obviously, for things inside the city and whatnot. But you're starting to lose capacity where they're going to have to go into another lagoon, a whole nother section of that wastewater treatment facility is going to have to be added on to. And that's the thing. Let's say, hey, we want a hotel. We want a 100-room hotel. Well, we've got the capacity for it right now. A year from now, maybe we don't. And then we do have to build on. We have to do these things. If if a lot of people said, hey, we want to put a subdivision. Let's say there's another Cabal Estate type situation where you're going to have 40, 50, 60 houses. Well, at some point we can't tie on. I mean, in Lynch right now, you can't tie on because of their violations of sewer. We'll hope to fix that soon. And Lynch and Benham together, but right now in Lynch, you can't tie on. I mean, you're done. You can't develop anything right now. And there's other situations that are looming similar to that. That's going to really. I mean, someone might come in here and say, "Hey, gosh, I want to build a resort. I want to do." Well, sorry, you can't. I mean, and that's when you really. I mean, don't get me wrong. Residential issues, house by house, that is absolutely a priority, and every citizen that's here deserves every service that's available at a reasonable rate, reasonable cost, and expect it to work as it should. Absolutely. But then when we get beyond that, we start looking at stifling any job growth. It's an issue. And I know this sounds like a scare tactic, and I'll apologize. But the next 4 years are very critical in what we do as a county and how we move forward and how we maneuver ourselves to be ready not only for the now, but for the 4 years after that, and for my kids and my grandkids and whatever that situation is, and your kids and your grandkids. I mean, it is a critical time in our county to. We got to make some big decisions, and they're tough decisions. I'm running for the job of judge executive to be the judge executive, right? But if I would be fibbing to you if I said I am jumping up and down with joy with every single decision that's going to have to be made these next 4 years. That would just be a lie. There are going to be some very tough decisions. They're going to have to have a lot of input. I mean, it's just, these are facts, but also I don't know who else is going to do that. And I'm not being mean and I'm not tooting my own horn, but you're going to have some thick skin and broad shoulders on some of these decisions that are coming up. And you're just going to have to stand there and let the tomatoes hit you. That's just facts.
There was one. I seen one comment here. Shirley Brown or somebody said they never come and check your meter. Well, they don't come and check your meter because everything is done by radio reads now. They just drive by and they pick it up. You actually have a radio in your meter base now, and everything is picked up on a computer in a truck. So they no longer have to come and physically read your meters with BMUD because they have 3,700 customers. And if they had to do that, it would be just crazy. I know the city still, I think, manually reads theirs. Harlan City does, but they don't have near the customer base that we have or that BMUD has. So everything is done, Shelly, on a radio read. So that's why you never see anybody check your meter.
Correct.
Just to let you know, that's not that they're not out doing their job. It's just the facts that there's no way. Like I said, there's 3,700 meters, and it's a lot, guys. It is an absolute. It's a big county. If you get out and you drive around this county, you'll realize how big this county is.
Huge.
I promise.
Yeah, it's 5 counties. I mean, I know counties. We've got a 26,000 person population here, which is, that puts us in the middle upper areas as far as population in counties. But land mass, we are number 2. I mean, Pikeville is number 1. We're number 2 land mass as far as size in our county. And there's people that live in every nook and cranny and holler and across every bridge and the top of every hill, and we're everywhere. We're spread out everywhere, and that's another thing that makes getting usable, accessible water a little bit difficult as well. I mean, if you've got to travel 3 or 4 miles to get to the next hollow, and then to be able to to get a water line there, that's costly as well. Again, not discounting it, not making an excuse. Ideally, we will have that capability to put it in every home that wants it. But you also have to look at the economy of scale. I mean, if you've got 100 people here and it costs $100,000 to get to those 100 people, and then you've got 3 people 3 miles down the road and it costs $300,000 to get to those 3 people, you're never going to see a return on that investment. It's just never going to happen. Now, is it the decent and right thing to do? If you can do it, absolutely. But is it from an economic standpoint the best thing to do? You can't do that first. You have to work with the concentrated areas first, and then work your way out. And
that's not necessarily always good. And I mean, you think about the common sense factor, and it was like what we were talking, and that's how it has always been done. You work from the center out,
right?
And unfortunately, with water, they would have, if they would have known years and years and years ago, it would have been common sense wise to us today. You work from out in, because your higher elevations are in Clover Fork. Your higher elevation is in Lynch. Your higher elevation is in Smith. And then you could gravity feed. Unfortunately, we did it ass backwards.
We did.
We pumping out of the river up on top of Ivy Hill. And then we're having to pump it to all facets of the county, so we kind of went ass backwards on it, and it's a little too late for that. So now we got to deal with it, unfortunately. But if you go to any city or any county, that's how it's done. They always work from the city out, and that's probably common sense wise. I would say it's ass backwards, and Paul would probably agree. Chris would probably agree.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've got a downtown Cincinnati or New York City or pick any of your big cities, you're going to try to service the largest concentration of people first, because you're looking for that return on investment to get the most bang for your buck, and that makes sense. And I guess they just kind of applied that here as well. And again, Cumberland had theirs. Benham came along, then Benham built theirs, and then Lynch came along and Lynch built theirs. So, and it was because you're gradually going uphill. They didn't even have pumps in 1917 that could do any of that stuff, right? So you just kind of had to build as you went. But
Paul, in their defense back then, they had tons of money from these large coal companies and these different, there was money floating everywhere in Harlan County.
Oh, absolutely.
It was 24 hours a day. I mean, downtown Harlan was 24 hours a day.
Well, people don't know we were the second most populated county in the state of Kentucky behind Jefferson at one point in time. Yeah. We had more people in Harlan County than they had in Fayette County or any other county you want to pick at one point in time.
Well, you're talking you had banks and, you think about Wallens today. You drive through Wallens, you're like, holy cow, this place, there's not many houses. You got school, and then you get into the residential side of it. But there used to be banks down there, car lots down there. Yeah. I think Coca-Cola had a plant down there. I mean, there was Henry Ford, of course, owned all of Banner Fork at one time.
Right.
He bought Banner Fork just for the wood to put in the Model A's.
Yeah.
So he owned all of Banner Fork, built a rock house up there that I think Frank Goodwin now owns. But that's how populated this place was. And literally, downtown Harlan went 24 hours a day because it was so populated.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the largest and most prosperous corporation that ever graced the face of this planet was U.S. Steel at one point.
Absolutely.
They came to Lynch. I mean, they built Lynch. They had a 100-year plan. I heard you talking earlier about, these things are now 100 years old. This infrastructure is 100 years old. Well, it's a little over that now in Lynch. Yeah. It was built for 100 years. That was their plan. It worked for 100 years, but we're past the 100-year mark now. I mean,
there's probably a whole lot of this audience that don't know, and my wife and I both have looked at this, that Grand Hotel in Lynch. People don't know it existed. Yeah. There was a hotel that marveled the hotels in New York City that was on that mountain in Lynch. There's still some remnants, I think, up there, but there are pictures of that. You can Google that. But there was a hotel in Lynch that was absolutely unbelievable up on that mountain.
Oh, it was, bar none. I mean, and that was the thing. A lot of people were like, well, why do they do all that? Well, they had to bring their best and brightest engineers, doctors, things of that nature from basically Pittsburgh. So those folks bucked and said, well, we're not moving out to the end of nowhere. Well, they said, well, how about this? So they put this grand hotel in. There were theaters, bowling alley. I mean, there was every amenity that you could think of on the planet. You could buy an actual Tiffany lamp in the company store there. I mean, anything you wanted was at your disposal if you worked hard enough to get it. I mean, it was amazing what that one little spot on the planet was and what it meant. I mean, your job in the mines was so important. They didn't draft you into war. They wanted you to mine coal. I mean,
And I never will forget. I had a conversation with Dan Majardo, Doc Majardo. He was lieutenant governor, and I was fortunate enough to meet his father. And of course, they're Italian, and they had his father had been brought in here by them, and he was a stonemason.
Yeah.
And he helped build all those stone walls in there, and then he came to Harlan and up Ivy Hill and through downtown Harlan. You'll find some stone walls, and he laid that cut stone. He and a bunch of others, and that's how they came to Eastern Kentucky. Oh, yeah. They were brought here by the company to do stonework.
And I think I've got this correct. And if anyone on here knows the Bianchi family better than me, I believe Louis Bianchi's father also was originally in Lynch.
Yeah,
and was a stonemason there. When I was growing up, the phone book in Lynch looked like something out of New York City. I mean, it had every possible. There were 39 nationalities at one time in Lynch.
Yeah.
I mean, insane. And I know we're not U.S. Steel, and I know we don't have billions of dollars. I know we can't do that, but we've got some good, basic, solid stuff all across this county, whether it is Banner Fork and Wallens area with downtown Harlan. We've got some really good places that we just got to put some love and time and effort, energy and elbow grease back into. And yes, it's going to take money as well, but man, we've got something to offer here that can't be rivaled anywhere on the planet. And I've had people come in the Ferraris and in the Lamborghinis and things of that nature, and just they just stand around and just marvel at the beauty of this place. And they'll talk about the Benham Inn, and they'll talk about the different buildings and houses, and as they go down to Harlan and Martins Fork Lake and Pine Mountain Settlement Schools and Blanton Forest and Camp Blanton's. And I mean, we have so many unique things to offer here. And
I told them earlier, probably one of the most beautiful drives is if you go toward Martins Fork Lake and drive all the way up through Smith over through the park there at Cumberland Gap. That's probably one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever take.
Yes.
I mean, and it's beautiful. I mean, people, and I probably hadn't done that 4 or 5 times in my life. And of course, as I got older, I appreciate that up there more and more and more. I bet you that 90% of the population in Harlan have never made that drive.
No, I hadn't until about 2 years ago, to be honest with you. I had never gone that far out. And it was amazing.
Yeah. It's like, it's like, wow, I can't believe this is part of Harlan County.
Exactly.
I mean, it's so far out too, and it's a gorgeous drive up through there. It really is, and not a lot of homes really, just here and there, and big fields. And if you go at the right time in the evening, you're going to catch the deer, and it's a pretty cool drive. It really is. So, but guys, I've enjoyed this, but I'm going to get off here, and I've got to go to bed. So it's past my bedtime.
Well, when I jumped in, I just got home, which was about 30 minutes ago.
What I'm drinking.
Where'd you get that Cumberland Gap water, Aaron?
There you go.
When I was in Harlan back in October.
Well, you bought a lot of water then.
I bought 3 cases.
There you go, girl.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you all, Chris, Paul. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Sean. I'm going to do the same thing. I've not eaten today, so I'm going to try to put some vittles down my neck, as they say.
Absolutely, Brad. Talk to you tomorrow, bud.
Sean Powell, see y'all.
See you, man.
See y'all. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for
letting me
coming on.
join. Good to see you, Sean.
You too.
Bye, Brad.
See you, Aaron. So is it just me and Chris left?
I think we're all alone.
And me.
And Aaron.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to call. Actually, my daddy's really good friend is Jane Jack Lambert. She married a Whitfield.
I don't know who you're thinking
And there's
of.
my kitty.
Aw, pretty guys. Well, I'm going to hit Chris with a question or two. And the first question, me and Silas Whitehead, you owe me an interview. You owe me an interview, Silas Whitehead. Dear Silas.
Hold him to it.
I'm going to Rick Kaufman. Where do I know you from, sir? Rick wanted the link to come in and check out the chat. I'm trying to remember where I know that name from, but my first question for you is your opinion on church security.
As far as carrying like a firearm or
do you think churches should have firearms in there and escape routes and things like that?
I wish that wasn't even something we was talking about, but yeah, absolutely. I think you should have a plan in place. Just the way the world has become anymore, you should definitely have a plan and have a couple trained guys or gals that's ready for anything that does take place.
Yes, Rick Kaufman is running for sheriff in Laurel County. Rick, I would like to do an interview completely with you, but if you're running, I would like to hear what your thoughts are.
We got a call, big guy.
All right, be safe. I'll hear you roll out in a minute. Come back tonight and we'll figure out when we can do a one-on-one interview.
Sounds good. Y'all take care.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher P. Couch. You want to come up right now, Rick Kaufman? Rick, we probably know each other, Rick, and don't even know it. How you doing,
All
sir?
right, turn my camera on, man. I haven't been on TikTok for years, man. How do I turn my camera on?
I just hit the invitation. You just hit the camera button. Just tap on your face and then hit the camera and it.
That it? Oh. I came and I went. Sorry, man. I haven't been on TikTok in a while. Let's try it one more time.
Rick's camera's turned off.
I don't know. I tried. It kept saying it was turned off by Live Creator. I don't know what that's about.
I'm trying to fix that. Hang on. There you go. There you are. So you're going up against the big old famous John Root, huh?
Oh, man, he's so famous, man. If you get on YouTube, you can search John Root. You can find all kinds of famous videos about what kind of sheriff he is.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with London. I have a lot of family down there. Currently, my mother. Do you know any of the Robinettes down that way?
Well, even though I'm running for sheriff and all that, guess what, man? I am not from the area. I moved down in 2023, bought 15 acres, built a 9,000 square foot building, lived there for less than 1 year, and family court kicked me off my property, and I lost everything. Lost $1 million business, $1 million property. So that's why I'm running for sheriff. I got done wrong. I'm from Woodford County, Versailles, Kentucky. I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. Am I allowed to smoke on this thing?
Yeah, well, if you smoke, don't let them see it. They'll give me a violation. Okay, so you, my Uncle Alvin in-law lives in Woodford right now. He sells doors.
Okay.
But so with the FBI coming into London the other day, I was just waiting on that. Everybody's like, well, you know the FBI's in London. Yeah, I know the FBI's in London. I know right where they're at. But what is your take on all this stuff that's going on in London?
Well, which FBI? The FBI where they're coming in and raiding all the illegal gambling that's been going on for years, creating a plague and draining the citizens with under-the-table money, paying everybody off? Or are you talking about where the London police are raiding or using the NCIC database for personal reasons, running people's names like yours truly? They created a felony running my name, but guess what? They didn't find nothing. You know why? Unlike them, I'm not a criminal.
Very interesting.
Give me a good interview right here, baby. First Rick Coffin interview right here. You're my test
Hey, Rick, I'm from London, man.
We got a guy on here named Jay. He's from London. He's wanting to ask you a question. What up, Jay?
What's up, Jay?
Hey, man, I was saying, hey, man, I never have met you or nothing, but I've seen a bunch of your stuff you put online and stuff and everything. Yeah, man, I don't know what you think about the John Root. I see he's been online here a lot here lately, man. I'm talking, you know, saying shit, you know, everybody, but
opinions of Doug Harless.
I don't.
What's on Jay Fetish? Then I'll touch Doug Harless.
I'm sure Rick knows all about John Root. I could tell you some story. I've known John Root since I was 10 years old.
He ain't good, is he?
Huh?
He's not a good guy, is he?
I seen where he offered the debate, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He put that online last night, man.
He got me blocked. I don't see his stuff.
Yeah, he's going to debate. That Melissa Jones is going to let him and Robbie Grimes and that woman debate.
Okay, that woman that calls herself a reporter, but she's just a Weddle's right-hand assistant with googly eyes for Weddle. She ain't no reporter.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean, man. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
No, man,
I wouldn't go on a thing with Melissa Jones. She's totally biased, and she spreads stuff, and she cannot even make it. What kind of reporter can't make it through a video without cussing every other sentence?
Right, true. I mean, I don't care who was debating, man. I really would. I'd love the opportunity to debate that motherfucker, man.
Well, tell me about it, man. What if you were to say one thing that you don't like about John Root? What would it be?
Fuck, I don't.
It's hard to pick. I know.
Hey, Rick, I'm sure you got online, right? I went on Facebook and went to his personal website and seen his home and shit.
That's
Sheriff,
pretty nice spread for a guy on a sheriff's salary. Yeah.
Laura County Sheriff makes about $100,000 a year, right? Let me tell you,
use that money, baby.
No fucking way that motherfucker can afford that fucking. He's got a big old fucking ranch, land, beautiful land, farmland. Fucking, I mean, that's $500,000 in that swimming pool, man.
So do you think everything with that man who's running the sheriff for the last so many years, do you think it's all on the up and up?
With John?
Yep.
Shit.
And that's why Rick Austin is running for sheriff.
Who asked me that? Did you ask me that, Rick?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Hell, fuck no, man. No.
Exactly. That's why I'm running for sheriff. You want to know why I'm running for sheriff? I have my own interactions with them, and I've experienced corruption like I've never seen before. And in London County,
it's always been like, hey, listen, what they done to me, man, about 4 years ago. Hey, this is the Bible. I swear on my soul, I'm telling you the truth everywhere here. Let me tell you this story. All right, I go to the Suboxone clinic, right? Me and my brother. We've been going to this same one, still going there here in London, Horizon, right? All right. And this has been about 4.5 years ago, something like that. All right. And my brother opens the door and lets these two fucking Laura County Sheriff detectives in. You know, and they were driving an undercover Jeep or some shit, right? And they accused me of the day before of taking that lady doctor that worked there at that clinic. She went to lunch and come back, and she dropped her fucking lost her fucking purse, fell out, you know, fucking out her car.
Right.
She left it. And some motherfucking guy and a girl did take it and steal it. But they fucking come to my house, bro, and fucking took me out of there, searched my house, made me and my brother stay outside.
They have a warrant?
Hell no, they didn't have no fucking warrant. Hell no. Hell no, they didn't. No, you know they didn't. And, man, they took me up there, bro, to the Laura County Sheriff's Office, well, the old one, walked me up the stairs. John Root's fucking office sitting on the corner top of the stairs. He sees me. He says, hey, Abrams, what in the world is going to get you up here? There's something like that, you know, another like that, you know. And that was it. And them two guys took me back there and called me a fucking liar, man. For an hour and 45 minutes, a hand on a Bible. And their sergeant even come up there and was trying to get me to get some fucking deal or something. I never saw some shit like that. And if they would have waited till 5 p.m. that evening, they would have got Walmart loss prevention in Corbin. They used that fucking woman's cards down there. They would have had the clear picture of who it was and everything. You know what I mean? But that's what happened to me, man. But I've known John Root since I was 10 years old, because him and my dad used to be best friends, man, back in the 90s.
What up, Jonathan Bailey? London born and raised. Love listening to this. I bet he got something to say about John Root, too. I bet. Well, you know what John Root doesn't expect? He doesn't expect for the silent majority all these years of being sheriff in this town and doing cowboy crap like he was just talking about.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big silent majority that's ready to probably see his ass hit the door, and I have zero law experience.
Hey,
I'm going to win this election, just so you all know.
Let me tell you guys this here. Hey, have y'all seen his fiance?
I was just looking on his page. I'm on it.
His fiance. Is he married?
I'm on his page right now looking. I was trying to do some quick research while y'all was talking.
Yeah. Where are you from, Brad, right? You, Brad?
Yeah, I'm from Harlan. But my family's in London. I know all about family, or I know all about London. I've got family on Court Road. I got family over the Robinettes is my family down that way. So
know that, man. I know.
They're in the Shriners and all that down Dairy Queens. They got money. So I've been in John Root's office. I've been in there and watched them cut them big, huge prices, right looking checks for Shriners and stuff. And but I ain't been down there in a year and a half, 2 years. So all I know is the Doug Harless situation.
Everybody knows he's corrupt.
Yeah, he's beyond corrupt. I mean, you've seen I know you, Rick. I know you've watched them YouTube videos. I mean,
the shark videos.
All kinds of shit. Yeah, Shark Tank guy, and some other ones and shit. And I mean, it's some fucked up shit he's done on her, man. I mean, it's on record. You know what I mean?
It's hard to believe he's even sheriff. Well, I've been.
I'm telling you guys, I'd love to debate this motherfucker, man.
So are they going to do an open debate for the sheriff and other political positions?
Just the old corrupt versus the new corrupt with the totally biased person that calls a reporter.
You guys remember about a year ago when they had the interstate shooting?
Yeah, Joseph Couch. Yes.
Last year, yes.
I learned to ride four-wheelers right there. That's where I did a lot of riding there.
Up there too. A lot back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, listen, y'all remember all that? They canceled school for a damn week here in Lark County because of that. And all kinds of shit, right? You know that old man and woman when he found that fucker up there, right?
YouTubers, yeah.
He
wasn't even 5-10 minutes walk from that fucking store, man. And they had the governor up there, and that.
You don't even want to hear my opinion of that.
Yeah.
That was a gummed up fucking mess, man. That was a fucking mess.
I agree with you, but I covered the whole thing. But I had got a strike on my YouTube channel, and I had just come back from London a week before that happened. If I would have been in London, I would have got a lot of subs like the YouTuber Crimes with Bobby. I would have been right there the whole time, but my mom's on meth real bad on Court Road, and she runs with Wolfie Mitchell, and I had to leave from down there. Reverend Kelly knows about it.
Have y'all ever heard of that Justice for Laurel County Facebook group that's giving them all hell?
Yeah, I think that's how I met you.
Guess who started that group?
You started that?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good, Mr. Kaufman. I'm glad you come on my panel because I have a lot of cops from London, the ones that arrested my mother when I put her in jail back about 2 weeks before the Joseph Couch incident. They watch. And I must say that whether y'all like him or not, Officer Roberts that arrested my mother was one of the first ones on scene when Joseph Couch was shooting. We had a bunch of kids from here in Harlan that the 18-wheelers parked around the bus to protect them. So, yeah, I was well invested in all that going on. I thought he had got away for sure, though.
What, you think that guy actually shot those people?
Who, Joe Couch?
Yeah.
Now, he shot at him, but I don't think he hit.
You know where he was coming from?
Where?
Tell me where he was coming from right before that.
I just went and bought a bunch of ammo, didn't he?
He come from the court. He come from family court.
Mm-hmm. He was mad over a dog. Hey, you got to watch him SIGs on here. That's why I flipped my camera around.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
Man, I put mine out.
Just flip your camera, and you'll be good. That's why I flipped mine. But yeah, me and 606 Wonka and a lot of my YouTube base, we covered that every night on my backup channel and was listening to scanners and watching flight radar and everything. So you don't think Joseph Couch was the shooter? Jay, I got to remove you. You can come back in 2 minutes. It's over the cigarette. Come back in 2 minutes. Just ask for a request.
I have an opinion on that, and it's really speculation based upon I'm a pretty smart feller, and I probably not want to talk about that right now. There's a lot more current stuff. Hell, even Doug Harless is more current than that. Or you can talk about why it is that I'm going to remove John Root from sheriff, or we can talk about what happened to me. There's lots of stuff we can talk about. But the Travis Couch,
I do not think that's what it is. I almost want to give you my opinion on it, but it is merely speculation.
Yeah, my mother is
I
Donna.
don't think it is what you think it is.
Well, tell me what it is, because I was very fascinated. My papa had to go through Somerset, if I'm not mistaken, that day. You know.
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
What I think it was?
Uh-huh.
I think people that are corrupt, like, okay, it's pretty obvious all the people in Laurel County are pretty corrupt. I think they sit around and do God knows what with one another, but they're organized and they hang out together. I think they have like a plan, like, hey, one day if we have somebody that's causing us problems, let's do this. Boom, they got a plan in action, premeditated ahead of time, which would be, let's shoot a couple rifle at some people on the thing and shut down the whole town, and let's get all this federal funding, and let's get all this news footage, and do all this other stuff and shut the whole town down for a while. And honestly, I think he was somebody like me who likes to speak up and got done wrong by that court. And I think they pulled him over. A damn cop hopped in his car, drove it up there. I think they had him murdered before he even got to the bridge. I think it was a cop that probably shot those people. And then all that bullshit for a week and all that was media glory. They were cleaning up a park, Wildcat Off-Road Park, shut down everything. They probably got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of emergency funding and news coverage because they're media whores and all that stuff. Nothing is as it seems.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I don't disagree with that. I'm just.
Well, I told you it's not based upon any facts. It's mostly opinion and all that stuff. But that is way too messed up the situation to be as it is.
Are you going to run against him, Lance?
I am running. I'm on the ballot. Number 3 on the ballot, baby.
Yes, I am. That's my papa, Tim.
I had a warrant for my arrest, and I walked in the damn courthouse with the balls enough with a warrant for my arrest over some bullshit. Could have been arrested at any moment. I went, and on the very last day, on January 9th, threw my name in the hat to run for sheriff, and I'm going to take the job. I'm call it right now. I'm taking the job.
Well, I'm telling you, man, be careful. I mean, what you say about stuff, you know what I mean? You know, how I deal with that fucker, man. Dude, I want to see him out there so bad, man. You don't know. I mean, I'm at the point, if he wins this election, I'm thinking about moving. You know, I'm not going to leave Kentucky, but I'm going to move a few counties over, man.
Well, we'll take you here in Harlan. What's up, David Scarce? Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving. If I don't win, I might move to Harlan just so I can live by Black Mountain.
Well, it's a beautiful place. I got a lot of people. It's got a lot of land.
This is what I do. I'm king off-road, baby.
Well, you need to come up here and ride.
I've been up there. I've hosted giant events out there.
Oh, really?
Man, I rode Jelly Roll. I've seen a million faces, and I rocked them all. Oh, I got a couple T-shirt cannons over here. I go warm up crowds and hype them and sell merch and all that stuff. That's what I did before I moved to Lily, Kentucky, anyway.
Lily, Kentucky.
They messed with the wrong guy. They messed with the baller, and I'm a shot caller, and I'm about ready to go in there and take over.
Okay. Are you from Lexington?
I'm originally from Lexington, but I spent the last 16 years in Woodford County in Versailles, Kentucky. I rented a 12,000 square foot building. I did about $2.5 million a year in T-shirts, about $1.5 million a year just on Amazon alone. And I traveled all over the country, hyping crowds, off-road brands. I got a bourbon brand. I got a Southern Charm Girly brand, and employed a lot of people. I brought in over $30 million in the last 10 years.
Are you living in London now?
I am. I'm not in London right now because they got a BS warrant. So I'm across the border down in Tennessee right now where they can't come get me. But I'm getting ready to come back home next week.
Okay, so with the warrant on you, you can still run, I guess. I'm assuming because you're on the ballot.
They can't fuck with him in Tennessee. They want extra dust.
Right. So if you're in Lily and Jay, I'm asking Jay and Rick, do you guys know a scammer down there by the name of Jimbo Collins? He's got a wife named Thelma.
I've heard that name.
You've heard that name. You wouldn't believe how much. Do you know he married a 12-year-old the day before he turned 17? He is the big scammer from here in Harlan. He He lived right across from the going up 25V. What's the wood plant right there?
Barrel factory.
No.
I ain't fake. I'm the real deal, baby.
I'll think of it in a second. He lived across the tracks up on the hill across from that wood factory that went out of business.
You guys know that where that BP is out in Pittsburgh, Gene Holland used to own?
I do.
You know what I'm talking about? Do you know John Reed owns that now?
No, I didn't know that until you said it in the comments.
Sure, he does.
Whoa, what you just say?
Yes,
You
sir.
know what?
He owns that BP in Pittsburgh, there, man. Gene Holland used to own.
Man, that's pretty interesting to acquire something like that on a sheriff's salary.
Speak,
Yeah, exactly.
especially with what you said about the dink machines.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
But see,
All right, guys. Well, you guys got any more questions for me, man? 'Cause I'm gonna hop off here in a
yeah,
second.
I'm going to tell you about the store thing. See, John owns the store, right? Root, he owns that BP, but he leases it out to. He did lease it out to Ronnie Messer.
I heard that name.
Oh, I was gonna do you. He owns he's the poker machine man. He owns them all, man. Just damn near.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
That was the scariest thing I was worried about running for sheriff. I thought that was the one thing that might get me killed was the poker machines because of how much money it is. I know somebody that works at Lily Shopping Cart. Y'all know where Lily Shopping Cart is?
Yep, yes, sir. So
she told me she collected the money and ran reports. That brings in about $75,000 cashola under the table a month, and $25,000 of it a month is kickbacks. So that's 1/3. $25,000 donated to campaigns, to charities who have people that draw salaries from the charities. It's all corruption. And you know what? I think those poker machines are more dangerous than meth. Man, you can go buy $100 meth, and boy, you'd be rolling for days, man. You could drop $100 in them slot machines in like 20 minutes.
Hey guys, listen. I had a friend over there a couple nights ago, right? I was sitting around bullshit and stuff. He told me he talked to his nephew, and nephew knows a lot of people, and he knew some guys that worked for Ronnie Messer on poker machines, right? And you know what he told me? That Ronnie brought in average, they went and picked the money up out of the machines every 3 days, right? All the machines sent guys to do that. I'm pretty sure he told me every 3 days